Welcome back to Garrett's Life Experiences blog podcast. If you like my videos and want me to make more, please subscribe and like this video right now. It is much appreciated. Today I want to discuss a little known alternative for welfare. The concept or alternative was introduced to me by my favorite website, 538.com. They ran an article about it. Basic income is an alternative to our current welfare system. I want to explain two things in this podcast. The first thing I will explain is what basic income means and how it works. Then I want to go deeper and show how it's potentially better than our current system. If you read my blog, I often dismiss and argue against socialist type policies. Basic income is a sort of socialist policy. However, it makes a lot more sense and is much more efficient. Welfare is a necessary evil, especially with a large wealth gap, which can't be fixed with government policy. So let's start with the questions of what is basic income. Basic income, as explained by this article on 538, is a no-strings-attached, government-funded check to each citizen of a certain amount per month or annually. Essentially, you get a check whether you're rich or you're poor. Craziest thing ever, right? Why do people like Donald Trump need to get a free check? Like most people, I had a lot of questions about this. But if you think about it in a more realistic way, then it makes sense. If the U.S. government is to afford this sort of new welfare program, it will have to cut other sources of spending. So the article defines what counts as welfare: old age, health, family, disability, housing, and a few other random things like food stamps and government-funded services. The government would probably cut all these services in order to make room for basic income. The chart that's currently showing on your screen was made by the OECD, and it shows the amount of spending on welfare by different countries. You can see that the U.S. spends about $700 billion on welfare programs. This is all taxpayer-funded. This leads to the next question: how much should basic income be? As a comparison, we can use Switzerland. They propose a basic income of $1,700 adjusted for inflation and cost of living. They spent a similar $650 billion. My proposal for the United States is this: basic income will be $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year for each citizen over the age of 18. And that would be about 244 million people receiving it. Data is from the 2014 U.S. Census. The monthly cost of basic income would be $488 billion. The monthly cost of current welfare is about $700 billion. Savings by government, $212 billion. These are just rough calculations and estimates. I know there is still one burning question about this whole proposal. What about the freeloaders who will be deterred from working? Before we can answer that question, I just want to address the problem with welfare as it stands right now. The current government system gives the government way too much power over us. Who knows the best way to help you, the government or you? I think the choice is clear: you. Only people suffering from poverty know what they really need. Yes, this basic income proposal may cause some people to quit their jobs and stop working. However, considering that our current welfare system hasn't stopped these types of people since its birth in the mid-1960s under President Lyndon B. Johnson. To wrap up this podcast, I'll leave you with two things. The first is that basic income allows for the freedom which America stands for. It allows for people to be free of invasive government. The second thing is that freedom that basic income allows is flexible. With $24,000 of extra income, you could quit a job you don't like without completely losing all your income. You can afford to pay for your kids' college education. Keep freeloaders at bay. We may have to put a small flat tax on which could be redistributed for those just turning 18. If you're wondering how the rich might handle this income, well, I would give the option for them to donate it back or have it come off as a tax write-off. This basic income proposal could solve a lot of problems. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, Garrett's Life Experiences. Also, check out my website at gps16.wordpress.com. Have an awesome day.